Our God and God of our ancestors, God of compassion.
For me, this is a really special flag. It was given to me by Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley the day when I opened the session of Congress with an invocation. I keep it here on my wall and to remind myself what I work for. I work to sustain as much as I can this beautiful democracy, and also to make sure that the relationship that we have with the State of Israel is never broken. Well, Israel's always on my mind. I mean, how can Israel not be always on my mind? I was born in Mexico City, and I grew up in a community where everybody was pro-Israel. It's one of the really interesting things that I found when I came here, that there was such a thing as Jews who are not pro-Israel. Right? I mean, I've never heard anything like this in my entire life. That I had to bring the message of Israel, the story of Israel, to the forefront of people's consciousness because it was not automatic. When people ask me why I became a citizen of the United States, my wife, Lisa, and I, it had a lot to do with AIPAC. When I first walked into a policy conference and I saw 7,000 people together, people from both sides of the aisle coming together, I really had tears in my eyes. I found myself in a situation that I'd never been before in my life, where I wanted to actually vote for people who were representing my ideas and the things that I believe in. Consequence of these sanctions that we have started already. And that never happened before because I was born in a country where your vote was not necessarily respected. Everybody together with me. Ready? When you're a rabbi, you teach, but you also teach by example. And at the same time, you have to bring meaning into people's lives. So when you speak about Israel, when you teach about Israel, it goes straight to your heart, straight to your soul. So because I don't want a world without Israel, that's why I make time. Hi, Sandy. Yeah, it's Rabbi Goodman, it's Felipe. Listen, I know that we have this conversation every year, but I want this to be the time when you go to the AIPAC Policy Conference in Washington in March. Somebody who's been around the leadership of the congregation for so many years really should go. We may not all agree with everything that happens in Israel 100% of the time. And we tend to label people and put them in boxes: liberals, conservatives, hawks, doves, Republicans, Democrats. But when it comes to Israel, we don't have the luxury of speaking with fragmented voices. When it comes to Israel and the survival of Israel, we need to speak with one single voice. AIPAC actually brings us together.